Alright guys, title of today's video is going to be Life Without Struggle is Meaningless. And I think this is a good topic because I think we immediately think of the negative when we're struggling. We immediately think of the negative when we hear someone is struggling, but I'm going to give you guys an interesting perspective in this video. And maybe you can leave this video and it could change your mind on how you view the times you struggle basically. So what I want you to do for me is imagine you're reading a book, right? And in this book, there's no plot, there's no problem, there's nothing that this character had to overcome. Everything just gets handed to them. Things just keep going their way every single time. It's like they're just the most lucky person on earth. Everything goes their way. Everything is dang near perfect, right? Would that be a book you enjoy to read? Would that necessarily be a good book? Maybe you would say it's ideal that I live that type of life, right, for yourself, but as a reader, is that a story that you would enjoy? Is that a book that you would enjoy? And there's no way you can say yes because there's no story without a plot. There's no story without conflict. There's no story without a problem. So you guys have to understand your life is a book. Your life is a story that, God willing, someone will look at and be motivated by. Someone will look at and be in their darkest moments and say, if he can do it, so can I. You have to understand the purpose of God allowing these things to happen to you. There's a reason he's allowing you to go through these hard times because your story is being written. And as I say that doesn't mean it's going to be comfortable. That doesn't mean it's going to be something you can enjoy in the moment. But one day you will look back at it and be like, wow, I have such a great story. I'm glad I struggled. I'm glad I went through those dark days and dark moments because now I can motivate people with my life. So that's just something for you guys to think about, Your life's a story. Life's meaningless without struggle. The reason why the athlete that makes the NBA or, the person that makes the NFL team, the reason why their story is so great is because, they had to work to get to that point. They struggled. They had to sacrifice things in high school. They had to do all these different things that got them to that point. But what if it was just handed to them? I mean, really think about it. Think of like the most hardworking, disciplined NBA player. I don't watch basketball too much, but think of that person compared to like Bronny James. It's like, yeah, we'll still say Bronny James' story is great, but we're saying that because, bro, he's LeBron James' son. So like his story out the womb was great, but all jokes to the side, right? The point is he got handed everything. Like he's still a skilled basketball player, but he got handed everything. So there's also a lack of respect in that aspect too. There's a lack of shock factor. There's a lack of just being able to be motivated by that compared to the person that was struggling, living in their mama's house, poor, homeless, and really had to make the NBA. That was their only option, or they would have ended up in the streets or in jail. See what I mean? So we can't agree that that is a natural concept of human thinking in other aspects, but then when it comes to us, we just beat ourselves down for it. We say, you know what, the world just hates me. Things aren't going my way. God hates me. No, God loves you, first of all. And the reason these things are happening to you is because that's what makes life life. Struggle gives us meaning in life. Struggle gives us purpose in life. When you have a conflict within your life, well, now you can actually make your life meaningful to resolve that conflict. A year ago, guys, I was broke. I had a career going for myself, but I didn't want to do that. So in my eyes, I'm struggling, right? In my eyes, I'm in conflict. And fast forward a year and a half later, I was able to overcome that. And that gave me so much meaning at the time. I was so excited in hardships. I was so proud in hardships because I knew that God will lead me to a day like now where I'm actually talking to a camera, telling people about overcoming struggles, excuse me, right? So that's just something really interesting, and you have to learn how to think the same exact way. I'm not saying to belittle your struggles, to belittle your situation. I'm not saying you're not struggling. No, embrace it. You are struggling. Things are hard right now. Things aren't easy. Things are sad. Things are depressing right now. But what are you going to do about that? You have to understand that every time you have a conflict, it is an opportunity to make something out of the moment. You know, everything, guys. I don't care what it is. You can get in a car crash today, be paralyzed. You know what I'm saying? You get out the hospital 3 months later, you're paralyzed, and you're like, dang, what is life? I might as well just myself, right? No. It's the fact that now you can like be this paralyzed person that still is, for example, maybe living for God. That's still out here, trying to like just spread a good message with your voice, even though your body physically can't move. You see how there's a meaning in that person being paralyzed? It's the truth, guys. It's sad, but it's the truth. But a lot of people wouldn't have listened to that person if they weren't paralyzed. But it shocks them. It makes them think like, wow, like a paralyzed person is at peace. What am I doing wrong with my life? Why am I not at peace? Why is my relationship with God not good? I have everything going for me. I have a roof over my head. I have water and food to eat. I have running water. I have lights on in my house. And this paralyzed man is more happy than me. It's the meaning, guys. And that is why we struggle. So understand that the struggles you are running into every single year in your life are an opportunity for you to grow as a person, are an opportunity for you to motivate others with your life. And I know everyone doesn't have a platform. So if you're like, how can I motivate others in my life? Well, I'm just going to assume right now that you have friends, right? If your friends see you overcoming things, that motivates them. Your family, that motivates them. And even if you truly are by yourself, you're still motivating yourself every single time you get over something. I have another little exercise for you guys. Think back to 3 years ago in your life. It doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 15, you could be 22, you can be 25. Think back to 3 years ago and think back to something you were struggling with. Now, let me ask you, what happened, right? Those same problems you had 3 years ago, or we can even go further back, 5 years ago, you're not even dealing with them anymore. Guys, the success rate on overcoming your struggles in life are so high, but in the moment, we are so like just down because of it that we don't even realize, oh shoot, I done got over the last 66 problems. I'm gonna get over this one too. And obviously there's a long-term problems, maybe financial stuff, things that take a decade at a time. I understand that. Maybe family, relationship issues, things that will take a lifelong, time to fix. But I'm just talking about those like small little struggles. Maybe trying to pass this class in school. Maybe trying to get over a girl that broke your heart. Now you chilling, you kicked back, eating and drinking like nothing happened. You chilling. But in the moment, it thought that was the end of your life, right? It thought that was the end of the world. So once again, I'm not belittling how bad things can be for you because everyone's in their own situation. But just understand that you can get through it. You can get through it. I believe you can get through it. I believe you will get through it, right? So if no one's ever told you, I love you guys. I hope you guys love yourself because that's another way that you can truly overcome these things. You have to love yourself. If you're out of shape, for example, and you're like, I don't love myself. Well, you're not going to go to the gym. But, even if it's just a very small amount of you loving yourself, you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to get up and I'm going to do this for myself. Maybe initially you're doing it for girls too, whatever. Doing it because you see someone. But there's going to come a point in time where all that drops. All that discipline is just at the front of your mind. There's no motivation anymore. What's going to push you? Loving yourself. So make sure you love yourself, and if you guys, want me to talk about any other specific topics, just comment it in the video. And let me know, guys, because it takes 10 minutes for me to make these videos, guys. I just yap and speak from the heart. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I hope you guys can understand that life needs struggle to have meaning. And I promise you guys, your life will be a great story because you're going to get over those struggles. You just have to believe in yourself. You have to believe and trust in God. And you have to love yourself. All right, guys. Hope you guys have a blessed day. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.